it made an impact on me for sure.
There's a movie that a lot of people say is core to my identity,
Hmm.
and that is The Wolf Man.
Oh.
Because that's because in uh 3 separate workplaces I have earned the name Wolfman just because of my general look. I look like Lon Chaney Jr. in a jumpsuit, uh, as a furry man.
He's not a jumpsuit. He just has his pants tucked in. I thought.
It looks like he's got like a whole thing going on. I don't know. It doesn't
The
make any
whole
sense.
thing going. He's got a whole thing going on. It is true. He does have a whole thing going on in this movie that he is a werewolf.
The thing is lycanthropy.
Yeah. It's like, oh, Larry Talbot, what's his deal? He's got a whole thing going on. He like got bit by a wolf. Don't ask. I was gonna say this is like pretty classic Universal Studios monster movie. It's like up there with the Frankenstein and the Draculas.
It is a
No,
classic Universal monster movie. I think personally, not nearly as good as the other ones. I
big agree. I
this
actually was like kind of surprised at how much like this doesn't hold up.
Yeah, yeah. And it's not even just like the kind of, the weird gender politics going. That's not even gender
This
politics. It's
movie
like,
has more weird gender politics stuff, more like weird, like borderline misogynist stuff in it than I think Frankenstein and Dracula do.
yeah, but it's not even that too. It's like yeah, like this is like classic situation of you watch an old movie and the main character is just like a total creep, literally like looking in a woman's window with a telescope.
With a big giant telescope.
Like doing a rear window, but unlike rear window, not like problematizing that at all.
Right, but then also like mentioning stuff that she was doing like in the attic to her later. And she's like, how do you know
It
about
was
that? And he's
so
like, I'll
weird.
never tell. He's so creepy
I'm
about it.
psychic. I'm
This is
psychic,
before
and then
he's a
it's
werewolf. This is before
yeah, yeah,
he's a
yeah.
murderous wolf man. He's already a he's already a huge creep.
This is before a curse turns him evil. He just decides to spy on people.
Yeah.
Uh,
My first note in my notes is Larry B. Peepin, which I think should be the
that's a
tagline for this movie.
that's a good name, Larry B. Peepin. This movie opens with describing like a little text crawl that describes werewolves. Uh,
Right, because
and
I
it's
think before this movie, it like wasn't werewolves weren't a like classic movie monster. This isn't the first werewolf movie by any means. Not even the first Universal werewolf movie. But I did notice that how it's like we have to like onboard people to werewolves. You know?
yeah, and it's kind of I don't know, like it makes me want to kind of look more into the history of werewolf lore, I guess,
Mm,
because this movie shares some kind of weird similarities with American Werewolf in London, which
mhm,
is probably not fully unintentional, but it's like it is an American who
yeah,
is in England and
mhm.
like in a small town in England, and that is where he becomes a werewolf. And he deals with it in similar ways, similar shots even of the transformation, and like I don't know, is there something about like small town England that is associated with werewolves? I thought it was just kind of a thing, but maybe it's a
I mean,
specifically
werewolves
British
are
thing.
like they're a European thing. Like that's really
Mhm.
where most werewolf kind of mythology comes from. This is also notable that like unlike a lot of the other kind of like really kind of canonical classical universal monster movies, it's not based on it's not like there's no Wolfman novel,
And
you know.
unlike other classical Universal monster movies, it's not based. uh, but
You
uh,
don't agree with the Wolfman, is what you're saying.
I don't.
You
I
don't
don't
agree on the
agree with
Wolfman.
the Wolfman.
Yeah.
I'll put that on my business card.
You
I
were shaking your head the whole time to let people know that you disapproved of the Wolfman.
don't do that. I mean, honestly, I put less blame on the Wolfman and more blame on Larry himself. Like
Right. Yeah.
he's clearly the worst person in this movie.
Well,
Uh,
when he's a werewolf, it's like, well, he's a werewolf. He's got no choice. When he's being a creep, it's like, come on, Larry.
Come on, Larry.
Yeah.
Uh, well, I was mentioning the opening call of this movie because this is like The opening crawl, it says that like paraphrasing, it's saying like lycanthropy is a disease of the mind where humans imagine they're wolfmen, and
Which is there is a clinical version of lycanthropy that is, yeah, the belief that you turn into an animal.
I will say this: nothing against furries. Every furry that I've known has been a great person, but it is very funny to describe that as a disease of the mind where humans imagine they're wolfmen.
That is, yeah, it is true. In Universal Studios monster movie language, it is very funny. There's a funny bit where, yeah, who plays the dad? It's the Invisible Man is the
It's
dad.
Claude Rains. Claude Rains is the best part in this movie.
He absolutely, Claude Rains rules. He plays Sir Talbot. Um, and there's a bit where he's like describing lycanthropy. He's like, "Ah, there's this thing lycanthropy," and Larry's like, "Oh, it's all Greek to me." It's like it is Greek actually. It's a Greek word.
It's good.
It comes
It's
from the
good.
Greek lycos, which is very funny.
Which is a
Um,
search engine.
is it?
It's a search engine from the '90s. But it's
Oh, cool.
antiquated dial-up stuff.
Yeah, yeah, I feel like a lot. I was I'd seen this before a long time ago, so I kind of remembered it, but I was pretty let down by it, and that I think it does a lot of things that I think Dracula did some of this also, where will it like cuts away whenever the good stuff's about to happen. Like there's a whole bit right where like towards the end he's like, all right, I gotta tie myself to the someone's gotta tie me to the chair, otherwise I'm gonna turn into a wolf man. And then it's like
Yeah,
we don't even get to see him like escape, turn to a wolf, and break out of the chair. Just like cut
there
back later, and he's gone.
there's one transformation scene in this movie, and it
And
sucks. It's
it's not particularly very good or interesting. It's like all locked off shots, no camera movement, and just like slow fades to more fur being on him.
yeah. I guess there's a transformation. There's a transformation back, but yeah,
Right.
like
I was thinking, oh, it's the 40s. Like they had limited technology, I guess. This is
I
where I
do not.
want to.
I would not give it that leeway. I mean, look at
As
Invisible
well,
Man.
well, this is the point I want to make. I went hard on this episode. And I watched a movie for purely backstory. So
Ah,
So this is not the first Universal werewolf movie. There's 1935, I think, movie Werewolf in London.
hmm.
A woo, Sarah was perfect. Yada yada yada. Um, Great song. Um, but and that had the same makeup designer, Jack Pierce, who also did Frankenstein. And he initially wanted to do the makeup that Lon Chaney Jr. has in this movie, the like full fur face, classic Wolfman look. But there's a plot point in the earlier in Werewolf in London where it's like he has to be recognizable as the same person by people that know him when he's the wolf.
Hmm.
So they're like, well, that's not gonna work. So that's why in that movie he has much more kind of minimalist. He has like his hair's a little different. He's got sharp teeth and like a funky nose or whatever, and pointy ears. Werewolf in London is a much goofier movie, but I liked it a lot more, kind of for
Hmm.
that reason. In that
Hmm.
it's a lot kind of pulpier. I think the Wolfman takes itself fairly seriously, and is the sort of the stuff that works about it is, or what it's trying to sort of get across is the horror and pathos of like you have this uncontrollable thing that's going to happen to you. You're going to turn to a monster and you have no control over it, and that's a scary thing, right?
Except you do. You have a special necklace, and you take it off immediately.
Right. So it's like Larry is enough of like a dipshit that it's like it makes it hard to get on board with the movie as an actual like dramatic piece of horror, and then it's like I don't like Larry Talbot. I think he's an asshole, and so like I don't care
Yeah.
what happens to him. Whereas the Werewolf in London is like not the main character in that is not a particularly like likable person either, but at least is like that is like a goofy, wacky like sci-fi movie where like
Hmm.
there's like giant carnivorous plants in that movie. There's like it's much wackier, and also the werewolf transformation in that is so much better. It is like it's instead of fades, it's like moving camera as he's like walking past like pillars, and it's like each time
Oh,
there goes past, he's like a little bit more wolfed out. But
that's
it's like
fun.
it's a really cool shot, and I'm like, they couldn't have put that shit in the Wolfman.
This movie
So
feels so cheap. This movie's so boring. This movie is misogynistic. It's like there's no thrills, there's no chills. What is this?
it has good iconography, I do think. In that, like the image of Lon Chaney Jr. in the full makeup walking through the like foggy woods is
The
like
fog on the ground is good.
and that's also comes very late in the movie, and does there's not a lot of the movie that's that right. That's a pretty brief section of it. Also, this movie is like 70 minutes, so it's like it at least is short. Like it's got brevity on its side. But so yeah, I think if you're looking to watch an old timey werewolf movie, I would definitely recommend Werewolf of London over The Wolfman, even though it's far less well known, far less of like a considered a classic. But yeah, I'm kind of like Wolfman, not great.
Yeah.
You mentioned how this is there's a lot of American Werewolf in London that is sort of like takes from this, and I have a distinction of like werewolf movies that there were werewolf movies, which is the macro group, but then within that there are Wolfman movies, which are movies from the werewolf's perspective. And so American Werewolf in
Uh-huh.
London is a Wolfman movie, but then like the
Yeah.
Howling is not a Wolfman movie. It's just a werewolf.
Okay. Yeah. I can appreciate like this sort of you know, the potential of a Wolfman movie and this sort of the Fly style what
Hmm.
is happening to my body, uh
Right.
I'm out of control of myself kind of thing.
Which a lot
uh
of other werewolf movies do better than this one.
yeah.
Also,
There's
the
two.
2010 remake of this movie gets a lot of shit, and I think it's pretty cool and good.
I got two little notes about this. One is that they just credit him as Lon Chaney in the credits, which I feel like is
Hmm.
really like really obviously like trying to trick you, you know.
Into thinking it's Lon
Uh,
Chaney Sr., the good one.
yeah, it's trying to like. I mean, Lon isn't even his name, you know. It like
Hmm.
he's not Lon Chaney Jr. He has a different name. Like it's very transparently just trying to like profit off of the recognition of his dad,
Hmm.
you know. Uh which I don't know how much of a part he had in. I feel like you know, if you start acting under your real name and then you decide to take on your more famous dad's name, that's a
Hmm.
it's a tricky choice to make,
It'd
you
be
know.
like if
Uh,
Nick Cage started going by Nick Coppola now. Same as
uh,
Uncle, but still.
and also there's a moment where I think his second werewolf victim is a gravedigger, and so he just very conveniently kills someone right next to an open grave, which worked out just fine.
If you're gonna kill someone, might as well do it right next to the grave. You know,
Yeah,
less work for everybody.
I guess Jason did that too. It,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I got to say
In the
about
movie Van
Wolfman.
Helsing, he kills a gravedigger who then falls into the grave, like into a coffin.
Nice. I haven't seen that movie in 21 years, so I don't remember that specifically.
It's it's not great. The first like 20 minutes are I think are pretty cool. That's what I'll say about it.